As I'm sure many of you know, Lieutenant Governor Husted is the advocate for technology and innovation and helping Ohio become a leader in that. He's the founder of InnovateOhio, which is helping tackle and build so many resources and using emerging tech to do it. And such an incredible advocate for Ohio students, which is a big part of this day, getting them involved and excited in tech and really helping make Ohio a leader as we think about being innovative and entrepreneurial. So Lieutenant Governor Husted, thank you so much for joining with us this morning. We appreciate you being here for Ohio Tech Day and would love to hear a little bit about what's going on in your world.
Well, thank you. It's great to be able to join you. I'm going to share a couple of thoughts and then look forward to some dialogue. But when Governor and I established InnovateOhio, the goal was to make Ohio the most innovative entrepreneurial state in the Midwest and to use technology to better serve the customers in the state of Ohio, which are people who live here, people who pay the taxes. And we have been very focused on trying to make sure that all state services are improved by enhanced use of technology. And we started with the BMV and a lot of places like that and have made a substantial changes for the better. Although as innovation allows for more, we have to continue to evolve with the latest technologies and the latest customer service strategies. And that's really what we do. And it's not something that government traditionally thinks about. And you have to push change. And one of the things that we're doing is we're going to push and innovate the code change, where we use artificial intelligence to go through the entire revised administrative code. And we will have legislation that we are soon introducing that will help streamline every touch that people have with government to make their, eliminate every paper process, minimize any in-person interaction, just to try to use technology to improve the way that we serve our customers. But in addition, we've also tried to make to reduce friction in how you interact with everybody, including our colleges and universities. I've often been frustrated over the years and have seen many entrepreneurs get frustrated over the years by the fact that they can't get the intellectual property, the great intellectual property that are on our college campuses out and into productive commercialized uses. So we streamlined that process across all of our state universities and two of our private ones, Case Western and UD, University of Dayton, to improve the way that technology to create an easy to use process to commercialize that technology. And it's working very well, and we want to continue to build upon that work. We've also created 3 innovation districts in the state of Ohio around healthcare, one in Cincinnati on pediatric cancer, one in Columbus that's largely focused on genetics and cell-based biologies, and then one in Cleveland that's largely based on pathogens, and it combines our universities, it combines our healthcare institutions, and is helping to develop the talent and the capital and the ecosystem that's going to take for innovation to occur on all of those fronts. So there's a lot of great things happening in Ohio on all of those, in all of the tech spaces, and I'm going to go into a couple more of them here in just a second. But I do want to make this point that you need an innovative culture. There's no doubt about that, and you need access to capital, which is a very important part of creating a great innovative environment. But you need talent. It all comes down to people in the end, and so we need to make sure that our kids are leaving high school career or college ready. We're putting more and more resources in for incentives for more high school students to graduate with in-demand tech credentials. We're literally paying in bonuses to our high schools to graduate more students in that space. We also are trying to enhance keeping more Ohio students in Ohio for STEM-based experiences through the Choose Ohio First Scholarship Program, which is a STEM scholarship. And then additionally, we want to continue to upskill our workforce once you're in the workplace through programs like Tech Cred, that we're using very successfully to upskill in the first year 10,000 people a year with in-demand tech skills. And now, thanks to a boost in funding from the legislature and a great demand in the marketplace, we're going for 20,000 people a year, because we have to continue. The nature, I mean, sometimes jobs that existed 5 years ago won't be there because they'll be displaced by technology, and we have to continue to elevate people's skills, because when you do that, businesses have the talent they need to succeed, and people have the skills that they need for higher pay, more job security, and a more hopeful career for themselves. So we're really focused on those things through Innovate Ohio and our workforce efforts and the efforts at the Common Sense Initiative, CSI. But I want to just highlight a couple of things, because Ohio, through Jobs Ohio, is really focused on things like advanced manufacturing. What's advanced manufacturing mean? It can mean everything from new ways to produce stronger, lighter steel, new environmental processes to produce the way that we produce many things manufacturing-wise. It's also new companies like Peloton, which are building their global manufacturing centers in Ohio. A lot of great things with automation and robotics happening in advanced manufacturing. Aerospace and aviation, another focus in Ohio. Pilotless air taxis, they're being tested right here in Ohio. We have Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, NASA Glenn, a new cyber mission in Mansfield at the Air Force National Guard unit space there. All of these great things are happening in aerospace and aviation. Automotive, well, we know that as we transition from engines and transmissions to batteries and motors, that Ohio needs to be at the forefront of that, and we are with endeavors with LG Chem and GM and a variety of other potential enhancements here coming in the future in Ohio with new businesses. I mentioned healthcare a little bit, innovation districts, but we also have startups that have become big companies like Cover My Meds, and a number of, I mean, I just think that this is the space where there are so many great startups in Ohio that we're going to see continued success there. Financial services, many more Ohio companies we have a lot of banks, a lot of payment platforms that are evolving in Ohio. We have innovative new insurance companies like Root and some traditional ones like Nationwide and Progressive. We are strong in that space, and with crypto options coming and regulatory issues around that, Ohio will continue to prepare to play a role in that space as well. Food and agribusiness. I mean, we're doing things on the cutting edge of food and agribusiness in Ohio. We have a freshwater GMO salmon farm that's coming to our state. Many more environmentally sound ways of agriculture through our H2 Ohio plan that Governor DeWine has been a big champion of, to make sure that we're keeping clean water while we're producing the food that the world needs. And major chains like Kroger, who are doing a lot of innovative ways of better advancing customer service. You just talk about general technology. Let's talk about the cloud. The cloud is in Ohio, from Facebook to Amazon to Microsoft to Google. Cloud computing and the data centers are all over our state and require a variety of different skills to advance those. You have AI companies like Olive, who are growing startups in our state. And then we have a couple of quantum computers, one at the Cleveland Clinic, one that will be at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, looking at cutting edge technologies on how we're going to prepare our nation for national defense and for healthcare research and development. We know we're obviously a manufacturer, a logistics and distribution center. We have great infrastructure in the state, and on energy and chemicals sectors, another thing that Jobs Ohio focuses on. Look, we've got Marathon in the traditional petroleum space. We have First Solar that's built the largest solar production facility outside of China right here in Ohio, and companies like Sherwin-Williams in Cleveland, who are innovative chemical companies that are doing things that are both creating new products and doing it in an environmentally sound way. I go through all those things to say, if you want it, we've got it here in Ohio. There are so many opportunities here. And we're building that innovative culture. We're trying to create more capital and less friction for startups in our state. And I think the future is very bright, and I appreciate OhioX giving me the chance share some of these thoughts and all the great things that are happening. We have to continue to drive success, and we drive it most successfully by creating a great culture and developing the talent to make it all happen. Thank you.
Well, that's fantastic, Lieutenant Governor. Thank you so much. And I loved how you're mentioning so much of the diversity from industries and sectors, and how tech is helping innovate and really build the future in all of them. I see Olive mentioned in the comments. I see some fintech companies, Path Robotics and others, which are doing incredibly exciting stuff. So one question.
Yeah, and the danger of all that is that there's so many other things happening that I couldn't get a chance to talk about them all. These are the things that are top of mind, but everything is tech infused, and we embrace it all the way through, from the environmental side to the digital side and advanced manufacturing. We got it all going on here.
Yeah, and as we think of Ohio's place, within the United States and globally, it's advanced manufacturing. It's some of these emerging EV and electric batteries and vehicles that are going to be globally important, which is, absolutely fascinating.
Yeah. And let me just say, and I like to sum that up, is that we have a great business environment in Ohio. Over the last 20 years, we have gone from a high tax state, Rust Belt and post-industrial state, to a diverse economy, which you've heard me go through there, to a much lower tax state. And there were tax cuts done on, the top rate is now 3.9%. And in this last budget cycle, we put in deductions for capital gains taxes, where you can deduct what you pay your employees from your capital gains tax liability, which continues to make the culture, the environment in Ohio more business friendly. You combine talent, more business friendliness, and a tech infused economy. And you're seeing with the high cost of doing business on the coast, we've had 27 businesses in the last 2 years move operations to Ohio from the coasts. And we're seeing global, as people want to do global distribution, they're looking at the Midwest, and they're looking at Ohio as they look to reshore. I saw yesterday where just the lack of access to computer chips cost the auto industry this year $210 billion because of the lack of a supply chain. We are aggressively pursuing that supply chain in Ohio, and I think that we're winning more than our share of those deals right now.
Yeah, absolutely. One question that we have in our remaining time is, part of Tech Days to inspire Ohio's high school students to consider careers, consider Ohio education opportunities that can help them work at companies like Facebook or Olive or so many others out there doing awesome stuff. What would a message be if you were which you kind of are, standing in front of a bunch of high school students? And what message would you share? What do you wish you knew when you were in high school about all these amazing opportunities? And what would you say to them?
Well, what I'd say to them is that you have an unprecedented opportunity through your mind, through your talent, to change the world. And you can do it right here in Ohio. I just went through a list of the kinds of businesses that exist here, and also the fact that you can take some of the great research on our college campuses and turn it into your own entrepreneurial venture. And we have top-notch educational opportunities for you to be able to do that. We have high school internship programs that are tech-based, where you can go and experience life at work. You can also work and go to school at the same time to test out these different companies while you go to college here in Ohio. And I really believe that technology has been look, we can have the discussions about the downsides of technology. That's for another forum. But the upsides of the technology are that you have the ability to, with your own mind and talents, to pursue your passions and change the world. And that's available to you right here in Ohio. You don't have to leave our state to be able to pursue those great opportunities.
Yeah. Well, being mindful of your time, any final comments or thoughts that you want to share with this tech-focused community, from education to industry and all sorts in between?
Well, Ohio is the most innovative entrepreneurial state in the Midwest. We are growing as a state in terms of the number of jobs we're creating and the diversity in our economy. And it's only going to get better. We are moving in the right direction, but it's going to take, the continued collaboration and the desire to want to do this by creating a great entrepreneurial environment, by creating a state where people want to live, by keeping taxes low and creating great educational opportunities for all. That's happening in your state, particularly for the young people and entrepreneurs that are part of this. And what we're trying to do every day is knock down the barriers that stand in the way of allowing you to make that happen. You can make $1 go further in Ohio than you can on the coast, and that means that you can have a greater opportunity to make that entrepreneurial venture happen, to make your business more successful. And I encourage everyone watching today to look at all of the options that are out there for you in Ohio, because no matter what your passion is, there's an opportunity that lies out there for you within our state. So thanks.
Well, that's great. Well, Lieutenant Governor Husted, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us, sharing your work and leadership with this statewide audience. And we really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. But most importantly, thanks for all the work that you are doing to help make Ohio that innovative and entrepreneurial leader that we know we can be and are. So we really appreciate it. And thank you so much again.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you.